What if I told you a woman has already decided she's attracted to you before you even realize it? She's not going to tell you. She's not going to walk up and say, "Hey, I think you're incredible." No, she's going to ask you two very specific questions, hidden in plain conversation, disguised as small talk. And if you don't know what to listen for, you will miss her completely. Stick with me through this entire video, because around the 4-minute mark, I'm going to reveal those exact two questions and what they actually mean beneath the surface. But first, there's something you need to understand about women attraction and why most men over 50 miss every signal she sends. Most men think attraction is obvious. They think when a woman is interested, she'll make it clear. But here's the truth nobody talks about. Women, especially with mature men, do not show interest the way men expect. They don't lean in, they don't confess feelings, they don't send obvious signals. Instead, they test. They test your emotional stability. They test your presence. They test whether you are the kind of man who notices what others miss. And those tests, they come in the form of questions. Two very specific questions. I'm going to give them to you in just a few minutes. But understanding why she asks them is just as important as knowing what they are. So stay with me. Segment 1. Why older men are misreading women. Here's something most men over 50 carry around without realizing it. They believe they've become invisible to women. Maybe you felt it. You walk into a room and it feels like nobody sees you the way they used to. But here's what's actually happening, and this might surprise you. Women aren't ignoring mature men. They are watching them more carefully than ever. A man with life experience, with steadiness, with emotional grounding, that is deeply attractive to women. But women don't signal attraction to older men the same way they do with younger men. With younger men, women can be more playful, more obvious, more direct, because there's less emotional risk. But with a mature man, a woman becomes more careful, more intentional. She doesn't want to seem needy. She doesn't want to misread the moment. So instead of opening up immediately, she tests the connection first. And those tests are disguised as everyday conversation. This is exactly why so many men say, "I thought she was just being friendly." She wasn't just being friendly. She was checking whether you were the kind of man worth opening up to. Now, I know you want the two questions, and I promise that they're coming. But before I reveal them, I need to give you the psychological framework behind why these questions work. Because if you just hear the questions without understanding the deeper meaning, you'll answer them at face value. And when you do that, she closes the door. When you understand what she's truly asking beneath the surface, everything changes. You become the man who sees what others miss. And trust me, women notice that immediately. We're almost there. Keep watching. Before I go further, if you're finding this valuable, hit that subscribe button right now. I post content like this every week. It costs you nothing, and it could change everything. Segment 2, the psychology behind her questions. Here's the psychological truth about feminine attraction that most men never learn. Women use questions the way men use actions. When a man is drawn to a woman, he offers something: protection, help, direction, his time. When a woman is drawn to a man, she asks something that feels harmless on the surface. But underneath, it's an emotional invitation. She's essentially saying, "I'm thinking about moving closer to you. I just need to know if it's safe." She needs to feel 3 things before she opens up emotionally or physically. 1, is he emotionally available? Is there room for me in his world? 2, does he know who he is? Is he moving with purpose or just drifting through life? 3, is he aware enough to understand what I'm really asking? These 3 things, openness, direction, and awareness, are exactly what her 2 questions are designed to measure. And now, here they are. The first question a woman asks when she's genuinely drawn to you is, "Do you spend a lot of time alone?" Read that again. It sounds completely harmless, doesn't it? But it is one of the most emotionally loaded questions a woman can ask a man she's attracted to. Here's what she's not asking. She's not asking if you're lonely. She's not asking about your weekend plans. She's not making small talk. Here's what she is asking. Is there room for me in your world? When a woman begins picturing herself near a man's life, she needs to know if she'll be welcomed there or pushed back. She's measuring your emotional availability, your openness. She may phrase it differently depending on the moment. Are you a homebody, or do you like getting out? Do you usually do things by yourself? You seem like someone who values their space. Is that true? Are you seeing anyone or just kind of doing your own thing right now? All different words, same exact question underneath. She did not ask this because she's curious about your schedule. She asked because she's already imagined herself somewhere near your life, and she needs to know if that space exists. Now, here's where most men go wrong. They answer literally, "Oh yeah, I'm alone a lot." Not really, I keep pretty busy. It depends on the week. And just like that, the moment is gone. She gets her answer, but she gets nothing from it emotionally. The man who understands what she's truly asking responds differently. He stays calm, grounded, and he answers with warmth and openness, without desperation. Something like, "I enjoy my own space, but I'm always open to meaningful company." Or, "I have my routines, but I'm not closed off." The right person always changes the equation. This kind of response does two powerful things at once. It tells her you are emotionally available, without being empty or desperate, and it quietly signals that she could be someone you'd welcome into your world. That tone, open but not needy, warm but not chasing, is magnetic to women, especially mature women who have seen what desperation looks like. When you respond this way, she feels something shift. She feels warmth. She feels possibility. She feels safe enough to take the next step. And that next step is the second question. If this is hitting different for you right now, that's a sign this channel belongs in your feed. Subscribe below. New videos drop every week, and every one of them is built for men who are ready to understand this stuff at a deeper level. The second question is, what are you looking for these days? And let me be very clear about something. This question is never casual. She's not making conversation. She is not filling silence. This is a woman standing at the edge of something, is saying, and deciding whether to step forward. If she felt nothing for you, she would never ask something this personal. It's too vulnerable, too revealing, too close. Women only ask this question to men they are genuinely considering in a romantic or deeply personal sense. She may word it differently. What do you want at this point in your life? What direction are you moving in right now? What are you focused on these days? What are you hoping to find in life, in connection? But every version of this question is asking the same thing. Are you emotionally alive? Do you know who you are and where you're going? Can I trust you with my vulnerability? For a woman to open herself emotionally to a mature man, she needs to sense something very specific. She needs to feel that he knows who he is. Not that he has it all figured out, not that he's perfect or certain about everything, but that he is moving with intention, that his life has direction, that he is not just drifting through his days. Women do not open up to men who drift, no matter how handsome, no matter how kind. If a man feels directionless, she retreats. Here's where most men blow it. They answer this question with uncertainty, thinking that honesty equals relatability. Oh, I'm just taking it one day at a time. Honestly, I'm not sure right now. Just looking for peace, I guess. And she hears one thing: drifting. And a woman who is ready to step closer steps back. Here's how a grounded man answers this question. He doesn't need a long speech. He doesn't need to map out his 5-year plan. He just needs direction and emotional clarity. Something like, I'm building a simpler, more intentional chapter of my life with the right people in it. Or, I'm focused on living with real purpose, experiences that matter, connections that feel genuine. Or, I know what I'm not looking for anymore, and that clarity makes the search a lot cleaner. Each of these responses does something powerful. It shows you are moving forward, not stuck in the past. It shows emotional clarity, like you know what you want. And it opens a quiet space where she can imagine herself walking alongside your direction. That last part is everything. Women don't just want to be with a man. They want to feel like they fit into his story. When you answer with masculine clarity and emotional warmth, she stops wondering and starts feeling. And feeling is where attraction lives. Segment 3. Why these two questions are connected. Now let me show you why these two questions always appear together and why they work as a pair. The first question, and do you spend a lot of time alone, measures your openness. She's asking, can I enter your world without forcing my way in? The second question, what are you looking for these days, measures your direction. She's asking, is this a man I can trust with my emotional investment? Together, these two questions tell her everything she needs to know. A man who is open and moving with purpose creates an emotional pull she cannot ignore. A man who is closed and drifting creates distance, even if he doesn't mean to. The logic is simple, but most men never see it. Clarity creates safety. Safety awakens desire. She doesn't need you to be perfect. She doesn't need you to have everything figured out. She needs to feel that you are emotionally awake, grounded, and present. These two questions are her way of checking for that. Every time you're having a conversation, maybe at a friend's dinner, at a coffee shop, or even just messaging back and forth online. The energy is good. She's laughing a little more than necessary. She's staying in the conversation longer than she needs to. Then she pauses and says, so, do you spend a lot of time on your own? That is her first emotional step toward you. She's opening the door, just a crack. If you answer with presence and warmth, she feels encouraged. If you answer flatly or literally, the energy drops, and she won't open that door again. Then maybe minutes later, or even a few days into talking, she asks, what are you actually looking for these days? That is her second step, her deciding moment. If you answer with clarity and direction, she moves closer. If you answer with uncertainty or drift, she quietly retreats. Men think these moments are random. They're not. These are emotional checkpoints. And women almost never ask these questions to a man they feel nothing for. If you've made it this far, You already think differently than most men. Subscribe to this channel so you never miss content like this. One video could be the turning point. Hit that button now. Segment 4, what you must never forget. Here's what I need you to walk away with today. A woman who wants real intimacy with you, emotional, physical, genuine closeness, will not announce it. She will ask 2 questions. Are you open? Do you spend a lot of time alone? Are you alive inside? What are you looking for these days? These questions are not about your plans. They are not about your schedule. They are not about facts. They are about your energy. When you notice them, you enter the moment with presence. You answer with grounded warmth, and the connection deepens. When you miss them, the door closes. And most women will not open it a second time. Women rarely offer the same emotional invitation twice. So the real skill isn't memorizing lines or learning tricks. The real skill is becoming the kind of man who sees what's happening beneath the surface. That's the man women trust. That's the man women move toward. That's the man who never has to wonder if she's interested, because he knows how to read the room. If this video spoke to you, if something here clicked in a way it hasn't before, drop the phrase, "I see the signs," in the comments right now. It lets me know this content is landing, and it helps this video reach more men who need it. Share this with a man in your life who deserves to understand this. You might be doing him a bigger favor than you realize. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Every week, I release content built specifically for men who want to understand human connection, attraction, and emotional intelligence at a deeper level. I'll see you in the next one.